In historical rapier fencing, thrusts to the head are quite common, and in the manuals you often see the blade going all the way through. Now this could be artistic license, but it seems plausible to me, and I'll discuss that a little more later in the video. So Ryan brought his rapier, which has a stiffer blade than the windless one that I tried recently, and we wanted to see what it would do to one of the Sammy heads by Zombie Go Boom. Eric was aiming for the eye socket, but ended up glancing off the cheekbone. Hitting such a small target with a slender point is not easy at all. The penetration on this thrust was limited a lot by the gel. In case of real flash, that would have gone through the entire jaw muscle. Ryan is a strong guy, and you can see there's a lot of force behind this thrust. Even though there is bone behind the eyeball, on a real skull it's not all that thick, so I think this should have gone through. Then he cranked it up a lot and put all his body weight into a very powerful, far-reaching lunge. This did get into the cranial cavity, but not very far. And plug. So how realistic are these results? It's impossible to say for sure without stabbing a real human head with a rapier, which of course is not an option, or at least not an ethical one. I do think the historical depictions are probably accurate. While exaggeration is possible, I wouldn't necessarily expect it in a fighting manual that was pretty scientifically minded for the time. Also, here's an X-ray of a poor soul that got stabbed in the head with a butter knife. If a butter knife can do it, and from the front no less, where the skull is strongest, then a rapier should quite easily be able to do it in my opinion. Plus a rapier lunge like this has a lot more body weight behind it than just a stab with the arm, particularly considering that most stabbings are done by untrained people who don't know proper body mechanics the way martial artists do. I've been talking to Chuck Murray at Zombie Go Boom about this, by the way, and they're always looking to improve their skull analogs and make them more realistic in the future. Next up, Cold Steel Swiss Halberd. I'm planning to review this one when I've done enough testing. Polearms deserve more love.
Nice!
I was trying to get through the nasal cavity, but hit the cheekbone instead. The angle of this strike came in too steep, so it only shaved off a bit of the bone. It can be argued that the back of the halberd is more for hooking than striking, but as you can see, it works just fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's stuck pretty good, huh?
Spraying almost. Teamwork. Yeah, so halberds are horrifying.
What, you mean a large, massive, sharp and pointy blade at the end of a long pole is intimidating? No way. Yep, that did it. It's hard to see how deep it is because I can't pry this apart. This thing is holding onto it so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good cracking going on here. Oh, it's so damn wet!
Yeah!
Oh, that was loud.
Ryan also brought his Angus trim longsword.
It's actually just him and
Just a little off the top. Yes!
Interestingly, it's much easier to cut these skulls, and considering archaeological evidence, this seems pretty plausible.
The umbrella protected me.
I landed this cut too high on the blade and the edge alignment was a little off, as you can see by how the blade is flexing. But even though it was suboptimal, it went halfway through the neck, so not too terrible.
good, buddy.
Guys, stop it.
It does actually go in a little bit.
That's what she said?
Yeah, no. Yep. I'm just finishing it.
Oh, I'm sure your YouTube subscribers will like it anyways. Just watching Skall get angry. Skall mad. See, what we need is a polearm on the other side and just go thump,
Yeah.
thump. Hey!
Did you see the bounce?
So bouncy.